Backyard. 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 Backyard.
Welcome to the backyard again. Mike Buttonoff with General Nutrition in the backyard, and this is Dr. Terry Van Dyke.
Yes, I've been part of the crew here now for a couple of years, and I'm a veterinarian. I'm licensed. Keep that up, so we can help you in other areas too, besides nutrition, animal health.
Yeah, today we're here. You know, we're into the season of calf weaning in the beef world, and going to talk a little bit about things we can do to handle the calves, things we can do at weaning. I'll mention a few things to start with on nutrition, and then Terry's going to talk a little bit on some vaccination protocol. One thing we've done for about the last 10 years is use this microbial product originally built for dairy, and we use that to get calves going. It's just a way we get them up on feed, and the most important thing for a calf at weaning is to get them eating, and once they get eating, they quit getting ill. But vaccinations are something else we do routinely to prevent illness, and Terry will talk a little bit about that, what we do with the calf from weaning to get that program started.
Okay. I'll kind of start out with the calf. We reach a time of the year where they're going to come off a pasture, and we got to get the calf away from the cow. And it's nice if we can do that in steps, so we can divide that stress off for that calf. It's not getting it all at one time. So if they can take those calves off the cow, get them a couple of their vaccinations, and then get them back to the cow, so it's a lot easier on that calf. It doesn't have to suffer also the consequences of being away from mom right away. And those first shots, a lot of times that will be like a 9-way shot. They'll have their IBR, their BVD, PI3, and may start some lepto in there, especially if you're going to keep some of the hefters, and then also get them started on their Clostridial vaccines. And then after the calf has been back with a cow for 2 weeks, then they will bring in the whole herd. Now it maybe want to get some vaccinations to that cow, get her annual Clostridial shot, get her annual IBR, BVD booster, and then now it's time we can booster the calves too, so that they're started on their vaccinations. Also a good time to be thinking about doing some worming on those calves, take care of your internal or your external parasites.
Do you recommend a Poron, a product? A Poron is something you'd put on their back, which takes care of both internal parasites and then things like lice. Would you still recommend giving an oral product besides later?
Safeguard is a good product. I like that. I think that does a more thorough job on all the stomach worms, so I definitely would like to see that on the older animals, the adult cows. Calves, there can be a couple of things you can do there. They're smaller, so like an injectable is economical, and it's a nice way you can make sure that your dosage is more accurate, so you can get your internal and your external parasites with one shot. And then they also could be used with the Poron and then the oral too if they preferred that. So there's some options on that.
Well, one thing for those of you who aren't in the beef business, you'll probably notice a theme of the vaccination and the things we're doing. It's all in aiding and preventing issues, promoting health, and you know, no different than in our own children in our world, taking care of things in advance so we don't have major challenges, to have healthier animals that perform better, that when we go through the process and grow them up and harvest them and they come to your table, it's a very healthy product. Some other things, Terry, on the calves. Typically, how many times do they get vaccinated for most calves?
Most calves probably get those initial ones like we talked about when they're calves, and if they're going to the feedlot or even keeping as heifers, they'll be getting those annual boosters. They'll be getting them every year that they're probably on the farm.
Okay. Some things on feeding calves. We mentioned a little earlier, this product like Cymike. But the goal is just to get them up, get them going, and get them on feed. And we want to do it in the most efficient way possible to make a profit for the producer, and then at the same time to keep the product as cost effective as we can for the consumer. Anything else you'd like to put in here, Terry?
Oh, I guess coccidia, we see that once in a while in calves.
Yep.
You know, the producers just need to be on guard, especially when those calves are being born in the spring, watching for scours and watching for the coccidia and being ready to handle those problems as they might come.
Good point. Yeah, another area we try to prevent through some very safe feed additives, and that's kind of the take home of this message. You know, we want to take care of them when they're young. We want them to be healthy. We want them to have a good environment to grow up in, and in the end, to make it to your table and be a wholesome product. So anytime you have questions, come into the backyard, visit with Terry or Joe, who you've seen in other episodes, or Tyler or Lori, any of us here. We'd love to answer your questions. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Yard. 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 Yard.